Instructions read, translate each of the following word phrases into algebraic expressions using the symbols given. So question number 1, 14 times a number x. Well, times tells us to multiply. So this is literally 14 multiplied by x, which gives me 14x. Now, if you have to go back to the last video on translating word phrases into algebraic expressions, go ahead and do so that you can see how we do basic multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction of algebraic terms. Question number 2, 20 times a number x plus a second number y. Well, 20 times x literally means 20 multiplied by x, and then the second part is add another number y. So simply this would be 20 times x is 20x and plus y. So 20x plus y. Number 3, 8 times a number x minus a third number z. Well, 8 times x would be 8 multiplied by x, and then minus tells us to literally minus or subtract the third number z. Well, this should have been a second number because we only have two numbers we're dealing with here, x and then z. So this should have been second. But anyway, 8 times x minus z gives me 8x take away z. All right, number 4, 2/3 the product of two numbers x and y. Well, the product, first of all, tells us to multiply. So the product of two numbers x and y would be x times y. And then 2/3 times that would be 2/3 multiply by x. I'm going to put x over 1 since this 2/3 is a fraction, times y over 1. And all of that would give me, well, 2 times x times y, which is 2xy all over 3 times 1 times 3 gives me 3. Now, this is acceptable, but if you wrote 2/3 times xy like this, 2/3 xy, that is also correct. Both of them are acceptable. Number 5, 7 times the product of two numbers x and y divided by, again, this should have been a third number. So 7 times the product of two numbers x and y divided by z, right? So 7 times the product, again, product means multiply. So, and then 7 times literally means 7 multiplied by the product of x and y. So 7 times x times y all divided by z. And that will actually give me 7xy, 7 times x times y. In algebra, we write division as a fraction. So it'll be 7xy over z. Number 6, 9 times the product of two numbers x and y less 10 divided by 4 times a third number z. Well, 9 times the product of two numbers x and y literally means 9 times x times y, and then it says less 10. So less tells us to minus, so minus 10, and then all of that is divided by 4 times a third number z, so 4 times z. Now let's simplify all of that. 9 times x by y would be 9xy, take away 10, all divided, of course, we put it like a fraction, 4 times z, which is 4z. The next one, half the product of two numbers x and y minus 7 times a third number z. Well, half the product of two numbers x and y literally means half times x times y minus 7 times a third number z, so that will be 7 times z. So if we simplify that, we get, well, we can write half xy, or we can write xy over 2. Multiplying something by a half is the same as dividing by 2. And then minus 7 times z, which is 7z. Number 8, 4 times a number x minus 5 times a second number y divided by 8 times a third number z. So let's look at that piece by piece. So 4 times a number x would be 4x, right? Minus 5 times a second number y, will take away 5 times y, or 5 multiplied by y will be 5y. All divided, and remember in algebra we use a fraction to represent division. 8 times a third number z, well 8 times z would be 8z, and that's your answer. Number 9, the square of the sum of 3 numbers x, y, and z. Well, hopefully you would recall that the sum means to add. So the sum of 3 numbers x, y, and z would be x plus y plus z, and all of that is to be squared. So please be mindful that the square of the sum of all of that means that you have to add all of those numbers together and then square it, right? So you have to write it in brackets like this. And now we are on number 10, which is the cube of the difference between two numbers, x and y. So difference means 2 minus. So let's say it's x minus y, that's the difference, and all of that is to be cubed. To cube something means you raise it to the power of 3. Oops, sorry. Let's look at number 11. 5 times a number a added to twice a second number b divided by triple a third number c. So lots is happening here. Let's break it up, right? So 5 times a number a is 5a, right? So twice a second number b. Twice means we're multiplying it by 2. So twice b would be 2 times b, which is 2b. And then divided by triple. So triple means to multiply c by 3. So 3 times c would be 3c. So if we put that all together, 5a plus 2b divided by 3c. Now you could pause the video and try the questions and then play it again to see if you get the correct answers. That's one way to practice with me. Number 12, 1/3 the product of two numbers a and b added to twice a third number c. So let's go. The product of two numbers a and b is a times b, which is ab. And 1/3 times that will be 1/3 AB, or AB over 3. And then we're adding that to twice a third number C. Well, twice C would be 3 times C. Sorry, not 3. Twice C would be 2 times C, which is 2C. So let's write this out. 1/3 AB, which we can write as AB over 3. Anyone is acceptable. Added to 2c. There we have it. Number 13, the square of 4 times a number a, take away 5 times a second number b. Well, 4 times a would be 4a, and 5 times b would be 5b. So let's go back and read what they're asking us to do. It says the square of 4 times a number a. So that's 4a squared, right? So 4a squared, take away 5 times b, which is 5b. So 4a squared, take away 5b. All right. The cube, well, I mean, you can actually work this out here. Actually, let's not work it out. That's not part of the exercise. The exercise is just translating these into algebraic expressions. So there's no need to work it out. We could just leave it as is. All right, number 14 says the cube of double a number A, take away triple a second number B. Well, double a number A is 2A. And if we cube that, it'll be 2A cubed. Take away triple a second number B. Well, triple means to multiply by 3. So 3 times B gives me 3B. Let's look at the last one in this part of the exercise. 11 times the product of two numbers A and B less 4 times the third number C divided by a fourth number D. All right, well, 11 times the product of two numbers A and B would be, well, the product of two numbers A and B is A times B, which is AB, and 11 times that will be 11AB, less 4 times a third number C, so minus 4 times C, which is 4C, and all of that is divided by this fourth number, D. And there we have it.